Hey guys, I just wanted to get back in touch really quickly before day camp next week to give you some initial information, and then I'm going to send you a short video each day, probably the day before, so that you can be thinking about the next day's projects and stuff. So just as a reminder, game rotation is going to be Ben and Gunner. The junkyard competition rotation is Clayton and maybe working in partnership with Josh Gatlin. We'll see about that. And then junkyard lab is Gabe. So each rotation will be 25 minutes long. All right. So you'll have, they're kind of split out by age groups, mostly by grade level, but not exactly. So there might be a little bit of mix, but mostly grade level. And you will have each group for 25 minutes. Each of those groups will be split into two. And then depending on what your activity is, for competition and lab, you will definitely split into smaller groups. My suggestion would be absolutely no more than 5 kids per group. If you could get it to 3 or 4, it's going to be way more fun because there's way more hands-on at that point. You're going to have to feel it out a little bit by the group. Games, that's just going to be dependent on you guys and what your game is for the day. How do you want to do it? For you guys, for game guys, the big deal is going to be make sure that you have a few versions of your game or multiple game ideas per day so that as they start getting tired of one game, you have another one ready to go. Downtime is not our friend, as you remember from being a kid at camp, right? So rotations are 25 minutes. In your 25 minutes, you need to be able to introduce what's going on, to teach it. You need them to have time to, for your lab and your competition, each of those smaller groups, they need to get into their smaller groups. They need time to plan. They need time to hit the junkyard if that's something that's happening during the rotation that day. They need plan to execute their build and to clean up / reset for game guys, reset for the next group to come in. Otherwise, you guys are going to be doing lots of cleanup between every group. You should have about 5 minutes between each group. That's what transition time is. Sometimes it'll probably be less. Sometimes it'll be more. It depends if your group goes over. Competition and lab. We have added an extra rotation into each day so that they get a bonus 25 minutes at one of those 2 stations. And the team leaders will be picking each day which of those they think their team is going to need more time at. So you will be having 2 groups at your station every time. And so we will have somebody in there to help you figure that out and partner with you on that. But otherwise, there wasn't going to be enough time for them to actually build anything cool. And we know that you care about that. So that's what's going on. Like I said, I will send you videos for each day to know what's coming up for that day for what the build is. Games, be thinking of a couple of games for each day. And I'll let you know what we already have planned so that you can be thinking about other cool stuff that you've played. All right, you guys rock. I'm really excited. Text me or call me with questions, ideas, thoughts, any of that stuff, okay? Talk to you later.